fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I be swerving through the city in and out of lanes. Yeah, cause if I see it, then I want it, then you better know I got it. Ain't no options, I'm about to do the damn thing. I'm an outlaw, you can never catch me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are here to discuss the Godfather of Harlem finale. This is season 3, and it was titled Our Black Shining Prince. Aptly titled. So we're going to get into the discussion of this, but first I want to remind everyone to click that button down there, that subscribe button. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Click the like button and the notification bell so you get alerted every time we post. And so, now with that out the way, we can go ahead and talk about this finale. I think we all knew it was coming. Yeah. We knew that, Malcolm was going to have to go eventually. As much as I would have loved to see him continue on in the show, they got to be true to history. And I just want to say, Jason Allen Carvel, phenomenal job. I know it had to be tough coming into this season and filling a role that somebody else had already previously held. And then, just having to step in, under those circumstances. He has killed it. He did a phenomenal job this season, all the way down to the season finale. He really has embodied the spirit of Malcolm X. Yes, phenomenally. So I just want to say congratulations to him and job well done. I also just want to say Bumpy is phenomenal too. He really tried his best, even as far as going behind Malcolm's back and trying to protect him. He put his guys, Chance and Nat, up to the task of working with Omar to try to arrange things, but Malcolm was really adamant about not having people get frisked. He didn't want to turn people off with doing that. And so, he accepted his fate. And I think we kind of seen it when he actually went to give the speech. And he seen the guy approaching him with the gun, and he reached for it, hit the one that Omar had made him put on, but he stopped reaching and then was just like, I'm gonna take it.
Well, he looked over at his kids. He looked over at his family first and stuff. And I don't think that's the image that he wanted to portray to his family and things. And then it seemed like he accepted.
Well, he knew something was wrong even before the guy approached him, because he was kind of perusing the room, and he noticed this guy. He looked right at him, and he looked as if he didn't feel comfortable with this guy, and right. And then Omar left his position when he heard the commotion in the back, and that was unfortunate. Because he was responding to what was going on in the back, and he left his position.
But here's the thing.
I'm not blaming him. It's it's just what he thought.
It's because also Nat and Chance was supposed to be there.
Got arrested.
That's in the original plan.
Right.
That's when, remember, Omar was saying to them, like, where is Pettigrew and so and so, and we see the authorities scoop them. Right. If it wasn't for that, this is loosely based, for entertainment value, but for the purpose of this show, had Pettigrew and Chance been there, they could have got to these guys. And because they were delayed, Omar had to leave his post and everything, and
And so, who it was suggested that had a hand in it. Adam Clayton Powell even said as much. And he was so he was like, do you really believe everything that Hoover says?
Right.
So, it was unfortunate that it went down like that, because I absolutely believe that if Bumpy had his men there as they intended, it would have never happened. Chance and Nat are like some sharpshooters, and they are very attentive. And I feel like just being understaffed put them at a disadvantage. And at least even try to warn Malcolm before going out. Like, it's some people out there that I don't feel comfortable with.
These men give me chills. And you see that she didn't even go out there. She stayed in the back.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow.
Her intuition knew that something was going down.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think if Pettigrew and Chance were there, see, those guys probably wouldn't have made it in the first place because, you know, you typically know who your folk are, and you can see, you know, you can see Strange coming in. Strange looks strange. And they probably would have held them up, frisked them or something to that effect, you know, but like you say, it's the way it went. I don't know with Malcolm. I know when he looked at his kids, you know,
that's the part that
although my thing is, for me, and I think even for him, he gave up the gun realizing that he didn't want that to be the visual,
the headline, because you know that would have been the visual and the headline.
Yeah, that too.
And so he gave up the gun in that respect. And he gave up the gun in that respect, because I know if he had the gun on him, if somebody's approaching you with a gun, I would rather my kids see me take them out than my kids to see me fall to gunfire. So, you know, once he raised his jacket, I think, and realized that he didn't have the gun on him, there was nothing else to do but take it.
Yeah.
But, you know, so it was just unfortunate all the way around.
And his daughters had to witness that.
But he didn't have it. He just changed his mind, because at the end, Omar removed it. That's why he said the headline is going to be this. And
no, that's what I said. I said when he looked as if he was reaching for it and realized he didn't have it, you know, he just sat back and just stood there and said, "Okay, I just have to take this."
No, I'm talking
he had
about
the gun.
No, I know he did. I know, and I know why he gave the gun. He gave the gun because he didn't want the headline to be Malcolm X with, you know, a firearm. Yeah, but I'm saying is, had he not had Omar not removed the gun,
Omar not, exactly.
Yeah,
that exactly would have been the headline.
The headline would have read, you know, Malcolm X kills two bystanders at his you know, speech, you know, something stupid like that.
They would have tried to slander him.
Oh yeah, they would have. They would have mentioned nothing about the guys with the guns that approached him. It would have been all about Malcolm shooting somebody. So
so it was bad all the way around. It's very unfortunate, but we knew it was all coming. Malcolm knew it was coming. Even the plan to flee to China, he didn't seem like he was even down with that. So he just accepted it.
He knew he wasn't going to China. He was trying to appease her.
Yeah. So, you know, it was sad. And to see Bumpy's response to it when he went into the morgue, and he was like, you know, just yelling at his body, like, why are you so stubborn? And, you know, he was like, basically just saying, you know, I'm gonna be the man that you wanted me to be. And, you know, I think we're going to see a very different Bumpy going into season 4, because I think his conscience is now eating him alive, especially the situation with Mamie, because she's losing opportunities because of being associated with him. And I think he sees how much that's eating her up, you know. And she even said some very harsh words this episode to Bumpy. She was saying basically when she married him, she made a deal with the devil and whatnot.
Wow.
And he was
heavy.
That's rough.
That's heavy.
That's something that's hard to hear from your wife.
When your wife tells you that, you know, you and the devil are paramount to being equal, and I made a deal, that's heavy.
But the interesting thing though is that he kind of had flashbacks of the artist, work on his wall, and I think that he's starting to see, you know, exactly what the artist meant when he kept saying, like, I think you have a duality to you. You have a good side, but you have a very, very dark, evil side as well. And that association that Mamie had with him just cost her spot. Yeah. So it's unfortunate. And I hated how they tried to snake that while Adam Clayton Powell was out of town. I was like, these Bama.
Yeah, it was a snake move. It was definitely a snake move. And then tried to give her a plaque, thinking that she was just going, you know.
Yeah.
Accept it and go. She said,
you accept it and go,
she probably would have rather a goodbye kiss on the cheek than that fake plaque, and then to be on your way, you know. I mean, you know, come on. And she said exactly what she should have said. I'm not gonna you know, repeat it, but hey, take that plaque and, you know,
So, that was unfortunate. I wondered how Bumpy and Mamie are going to be next season as well. We heard him at the end say he was going to get out of the dope game, but we'll see how long that holds, because he talked to the accountant played by Whoopi Goldberg as well, and she was like, without your drug and narcotics business, you're done. Like, it's not looking good for your finances. So I really want to see how he's going to maneuver to try to get out the game.
I'm telling you, Frank Lucas. I think we're going to that era.
I started to say it would be a wonderful look to see he make that alliance with Frank, for season 4. Because I can't see any other thing else. I mean, there's really
it's the Civil Rights Act and stuff was coming, and then MLK died after Malcolm and stuff. So it's all those things, because this show is just very much interwoven with history. So so MLK is next and stuff and everything, and then
but I'm saying I'm talking about his business alliance, because
Frank Lucas.
I'm saying that would be the only one I see really working out for him, because of the fact that even with his smaller businesses, his contracting businesses or what have you, most people are gonna, they know who he is, and then they'll say, well, no, I would rather not work with a drug dealer, and that's what Mamie's finding out. So really, the only alliance I see coming up for season 4 would be Frank, and it would be a good one to
because he mentored him.
Yeah, you got to hand over the baton to the next generation if you really want to step back and keep your hands a little bit cleaner.
or run things from afar, just help Frank out, in that respect. But he doesn't have to get his hands dirty.
No, that's having a younger mentee, he can kind of hide in plain sight.
Yeah. So now if we talk about this situation with Bumpy and the Italians, there's this big shipment coming in of guns and stuff, and they're trying to move forward with their plans down in Cuba and whatnot. And, it comes to Bumpy's attention, and he kind of tips off Morgenthau about what's going on. And, Bumpy is always very strategic in how he maneuvers, and he's always, thinking 10 steps ahead. So he's basically like, okay, we can get immunity and we can get Wild Bill and all of them out of the way. We can, spoil the plan for this plot that they have to receive these guns and drugs and whatnot. And so, of course, Bumpy had gone to Wild Bill earlier on in the episode and was like, look, I surrender. That stuff that happened with Elise, I got the message. But Jose warned Wild Bill. He was like, you tried to drug, you did drug his daughter. You cannot believe that Bumpy actually is surrendering.
That's when I heard him say it, I was like, Bumpy had something up his sleeve. I knew he had a plan.
You had to know it.
I would never hear him,
acquiesce like that.
Yes, and be submissive to anyone like that.
Anybody. So I knew.
That's why I was a little shocked when I first seen it, but then I was like, nah, he got something up his sleeve.
I knew it. I was like,
Yeah. And so, Wild Bill was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and trail him and see what's going on. And eventually he does catch Bumpy and Chin on the roof, scheming, and they played it perfectly. Like, they acted like they had given in yet again, and that they were going to go and just follow Bill's plan. Next thing you know, they shaking hands and pushing the man off the building.
They both grabbed him by the arm and here's the roof.
But he literally got the hands. He literally got the hands.
Yes,
they tossed him, and he deserved
every bit of it.
And Ron, I think you said last week you were waiting for Wild Bill to get his comeuppance.
Yeah, and I kind of thought it would be Chin, and because as I said earlier, much earlier, and we all knew that really Chin, I think, saw that the only real alliance he could have is with Bumpy, because he was just torn apart by the other lead members. Bumpy was really the only person he could, I'd say, trust, because one thing about Bumpy, you knew exactly where he was coming from. Bumpy, it was either his yes was his yes and his no was his no, and you could respect that. Everybody else was playing games.
Yeah, but Chin just had to get past his own prejudice.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that was the main thing,
Right.
you know, before. And once he got beyond that, you know, he
Yeah.
realized that he and Bumpy could be allies.
Right.
Yeah.
He may not, he may still not want black folks to date his daughter, but at least he has respect. He has respect to know, look, who he's dealing with. And he has respect enough to put it, you know, to know that Bumpy is real, he's legit. And that's all he needed to know.
And he can make money with him.
And he can make money from him.
Yeah, and Wild Bill had to know that you cannot just keep threatening these men's daughters.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Just because you're
They're bosses for a reason.
Exactly. I mean, you know.
Yeah, so that was his big mistake right there.
He played with his own fate.
Listen, boss or no boss, you can't keep threatening anybody's daughters. I mean, you never know. Like a regular man would, you know.
One time.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna take you by your word. If you did it once, that's enough.
Exactly. Yeah. So Bill is out of here, and you know, of course, Bumpy and Chin go through with their plan. So they actually go to the drop, which was ballsy anyways, but they already had it worked out, and they're kind of like, look. You know, Wild Bill screwed y'all over. He's still been working both sides with the FBI and the CIA, and the CIA is on their way here right now to take y'all down. And of course, Jose, you know, he really got bucked. Like he was about to shoot Bumpy.
Yeah,
which was crazy considering it was. I was like, okay, so there's really, you know, he's lost all respect for Bumpy, and he doesn't even feel bad if he was to take his life, and that's like a big difference from where they were previously in this season. So Jose really went off the rails, and it was interesting to see Colombo step in as well. So I wonder if the fact that Colombo stepped in and knocked his gun down as he was trying to shoot Bumpy, if maybe that might, you know, they might cut him some slack if he ever gets out.
And one of
Colombo was trying to go through with the deal. He like, look, you trying to shoot people up. Look, I'm trying to get this money.
And one of our fans had said something kind of, I wouldn't say against, but remember I said something earlier on that I like Colombo, and you know, one of our fans had a slight issue with me liking a criminal, or whatever. But what I was saying,
everybody show a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, but I like what I like about Colombo is something about his character, not the fact that he's a criminal, but you know, they're two sides to him, and I kind of always saw that. And he's charismatic,
and I think
but he's somewhat. I don't want to say trustworthy, but he can come through in a pinch, and that was that pinch that we saw him come through with Bumpy. You know, he protected Bumpy. So
and Chin.
Because
Jose wasn't just gonna shoot Bumpy, he was trying to shoot them both. Because he said, listen, I don't believe what they're saying about the CIA. And I think that was more so why Jose was trying to protect the Wild Bill situation, because he's so, you know, hell-bent on his agenda, you know, against Cuba and Castro and everything and stuff. And he sees the only way to get that done is through his alliance with the CIA. And his connect is Wild Bill. And I think he felt, you know, like Bumpy is saying that he double-crossed me. Of course he wouldn't do that. So I think that's more so what it was.
Yeah, but he chose the wrong side.
He absolutely chose the wrong side.
Exactly. And
I'm not advocating for him. I'm just saying that's what I think, you know, what was up.
Right. So I just think that, you know, with Colombo and Jose getting arrested and Bumpy and Chin getting let go, you know, it's going to be very apparent that they made a deal.
They waited until they left.
Well,
they took Colombo and them away before they.
But they gonna still be walking the streets. I think word's gonna get out.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, when you don't see them in the bin with you,
in the bin,
you're gonna realize that somebody snitched. Yeah, and you know, it'll be those two.
But it still looked like Wild Bill, because he ain't turning up. They're gonna still think it's him. He probably is gonna think that.
That could be too. I mean, you know,
because that's the pitch that Bumpy made. So I think they're gonna think, okay, he's maybe we know he's dead and stuff, but they're gonna be like, oh, he's the one that sold us out.
Yeah. Yep. But they still gonna have to watch their backs because of that.
Of course.
Because they got away. But Chin has basically king of Harlem now. Bumpy has conceded, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that looks next season, going forward. And speaking of Chin, he and Stella kind of like had a moment because Stella was getting ready to head to Paris. She was like, I don't want to stick around to see what my father's going to do to Colombo. So she tried to warn Colombo several times, look, this ain't going to end how you think it is. I know my father, he's got something brewing. And so, Colombo didn't want to hear it. And he's now in Bing. So it is what it is. But Stella actually went back.
Being in dead, but but he pretty much, because he thought that Chin was gonna be won over by all that money, and for Chin, he doesn't realize how deep the hatred is from Chin. It's more than money. It's about the control in the relationship with Stella.
I was about to say when Chin was listening to Colombo talk about Stella and their relationship, it looks like he wanted to choke him out right on the spot.
Exactly. He did. Yeah, you can see him. He was getting fired up.
And so when Stella came to plead with him, she was like, please promise me you would not touch him. Don't put your hands on Colombo. And I think he's going to stick to that because of Stella.
Yeah, and she's his Achilles boy.
Yeah,
he loves his daughter.
And not only that, he came through, as we said, he came through for both Chin and Bumpy. So, he really has no reason to want to kill him now.
He have no reason to begin with.
That's true. That's true.
That beef was all in his head. Well, it wasn't all in his head because Stella lied.
She lied.
Right.
Once she lied, it was difficult to come back from that.
And then to watch the reality of their relationship unfold, once he's out, I mean, you begin to question yourself, was it true or was it not? And nonetheless, but now you see the relationship unfolding.
First of all, I mean, again, that's his fault because he put her under his care. Like he delivered Stella to Colombo.
He couldn't have imagined. I can understand that.
But it's he has to think too that Ernie was also being protective of Stella, and he was around her all that time. And then they ended up, even though Stella ain't want nothing to do with him at first, she ended up, falling for him eventually and marrying him. So I'm just saying, being together for the period of time and stuff, and she couldn't be around other people and stuff, and then she's getting to know him and working for him and stuff. I saw that. I was like, it's only a matter of time. And you said it, Ron. He's charismatic,
right?
Yeah,
young, and those hormones start to work up, and you can't get to anybody, and there he is.
Yeah, he ain't that hard on the eyes. I mean, right. I mean, he's all right. So I'm like, she's like,
hey, why not?
Hey. And he kind of gave Stella what she wanted. He empowered her to make decisions, help, because Colombo even went and told Chin how it was Stella's idea to go to the court and arrange that whole deal. And he even said it himself, like, Stella's a very smart girl. And so Chin, at the end, he begs Stella to stay and not go to Paris. So what do you guys think? Do you think she's going to stay and get a cut of her dad's business in exchange for being a consultant, pretty much, or is she going to jet to Paris and start a new life?
I think she'll stay, and I think she'll stay too, and work with Colombo and her dad. But I think it's going to. I think in the end, though, it's going to. I think in the end, it's going to show that it's a mistake. So if I'm making a prediction, my prediction goes beyond season one. I mean, episode one. I think it'll turn out that that's going to be a mistake for her to not have gone.
Now, Chin said that Olympia is gone.
Right.
Is she gone, or has she been banished?
She might be 6 feet under.
That's what I said. That's the question. Because
I think she's just gone. I don't think he killed her.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think,
but I don't know. She did threaten Stella's life, and she did hit him. Exactly. That's major.
Father,
she's a loose cannon. I mean, if you allow her to live, you don't know what she might decide to do.
Or or if it ever comes out, if Olympia's not already dead, then it might come out about her affair with Tommy, and maybe she might be 6 feet under next season.
And Tommy could be too, because isn't that one of the rules? You're not supposed to sleep with the other boss's woman. So that could have deadly consequences for him as well. Not only did he put a hit on her child, on his child, you slept with his wife too. Like Tommy totally violated. So he should be.
Yeah,
that might be next season.
If that happens, Tommy can call it. He may as well start making his own arrangements, because he's short-lived after that. And I don't blame him. That was just the nerve. That's some big nerve.
I agree. So predictions. That was one of my predictions for next season. I think we talked about the possibility of Bumpy aligning with a younger person to hand over the baton, possibly the Frank Lucas storyline eventually. I think we also threw out there that the MLK situation could be part of next season's storyline. So I think we have a lot of really good predictions so far. You guys got anything else?
Did we say who gets the hands this week?
He got the hands. Wild Bill got the hands.
Anyone else? Did we get anyone else in there?
I want to give that guy, I think his name is Pike, the other guy working with Morgenthau.
The DA.
Yeah, I think he's the one that fed the information to Wild Bill that Bumpy has stopped into the office. So I'm giving him the hands.
I think so too.
I'm giving him hands. The old boy that took the job from Mamie, he gets the hands.
Oh, he gets the hands too.
Definitely.
And why didn't no one stick up for him or whatever? I mean,
and the dudes that shot Malcolm and plotted against him, they get the hands 1,000%.
For sure, they get the hands.
And them cops that arrested Chance in that.
Yeah, all of them. It was all the agencies involved. We saw that.
Yeah, and game ball. So who gets the game ball?
Colombo, for me, gets the game ball for
saving
stopping
the shooting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I think Bumpy can get the hands for that brilliant scheme he came up with to take down.
Or game ball?
I'm sorry, game ball.
Did I say that? You said
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's true.
Game ball.
Yeah,
I think so too. And I think game ball, period, for like that monologue that Forrest Whitaker gave in the morgue to when Malcolm had passed was amazing. I was just like, go off. Like he's always phenomenal, but I was like, wow, that scene was powerful. The whole this episode, this season finale, I was looking forward to seeing it, but I was dreading it too, because I knew that this was going to be the episode where Malcolm died, and I'm not gonna lie, I shed some tears. I did. I shed some tears and stuff, as if it was really happening and everything.
Well, it did a good job of putting you in the moment with the news reports and telling how everybody felt. Like, I think that if I wasn't alive back then, but it's really good to be in the moment and feel those feelings.
Absolutely. And in school, like, I read The Ballad of the Bullet and stuff. I read a lot of Malcolm's work. I read a lot of his speeches, especially his speech. I read a lot and refer back to it the speech when he talks about how Black women are the most disrespected and neglected and things and stuff. I refer to that speech a lot. And one other fun fact, Malcolm and I share the same birthday, May 19th. So definitely have been a long time.
That must be where you get your fiery side.
Absolutely. People say that all the time.
But in the episode, they did say that Malcolm might be gone, but his words would live on.
Let's give the posthumous game ball to Malcolm.
Yes. So, I'm not mad at that either. He went out like a G.
Yes, he did.
So, and he stood his ground. So, my hat's off to him.
Yeah. Yes.
So I just want to say phenomenal season. I mean, I don't know how they do it. Like the writers, Chris Mercado, Paul Eckstein, they do such a good job of just keeping this show so engaging. Like, I really am glued to the screen, on the edge of my seat every week, every season. And they keep leveling up. This show has not missed a beat since it started. So I just want to say phenomenal job, you guys.
The research that they do is just extraordinary. And that's how they were able to come together with such a great show.
One
Excellent
of the best
research.
shows on TV
excellent,
right now. Phenomenal
research.
acting, writing,
casting,
and research.
Casting, even the music. Shout out Swiss Beats.
Oh yeah.
Snoop Dogg had a song in this.
Snoop had a song. I'm like, wow. I mean, the show is just amazing. Also, shout out to Ilfinesh Hadera and Antoinette Pro Legacy. That played Mamie and Elise. I mean, thank you for coming on our show. It was amazing talking to you guys. It's just been an amazing season, and you guys, you know, I don't know, they outdo themselves every season.
Every time. Yeah. So, I mean, I really love this show. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for next season. Very excited to see how things go down. And, you know, I just really thank everybody for being so dedicated to this cause. They've overcome a lot in this series. They've gone through COVID. They've gone through deaths of cast members, losses of cast members, moving new people in and out. And they really, like I said, have not missed a beat. So I can't say enough good things about this series.
Yes. R.I.P. Paul Sorvino.
Yeah. So with that being said, to all of our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Please drop down in the comment section and give us your thoughts on this season finale, as well as the season as a whole, and your predictions for what could happen next season. We're looking forward to reading those comments. Also, make sure you click the subscribe button on our channel, the notification bell, and that like button. All of those things help us to continue to grow. We are also on all social media platforms at The Spot Real Talk. So make sure you keep up with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And as we continue to do other shows, follow us. Keep up with all the other shows that we recap as well. I know we're doing Bel Air soon. That's a good one that people are very interested in hearing recaps for. We're doing Snowfall, and we are also doing Power Book 2 Ghost. So if you're interested in any of those series, keep up with us, subscribe. And also you can suggest shows that you're interested in too. So we're down to hear all of your suggestions, and we're not opposed to having you guys come on as guests to, contribute.
Yeah, we can do that. And let's do some movies too, because there are quite a few good ones out that we need to, need to take.
Absolutely.
I would like to see March 31st, 1001 comes out, is winning awards at Sundance and everything. I think we should see that movie and we should discuss it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not going to want to miss out on the content that we have coming. So subscribe, like the video, notification bell. Do those things right now. So on that note, we are going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for watching. And please join us again for another recap of some of the other shows we just mentioned. Good night, everyone, and thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I want the money, the power, respect, and I heard you know so-and-so, you not a threat, cause I really know so-and-so, they like my family, so they go pretend that they cool till they bust at your motherfucking chest. I'm getting gutter, my flow been like butter, my checking them.